Hey, welcome to the 845 Sports Nation Game of the Week podcast. The game of the week this week is one of the most historic rivalries in high school football across the nation. It's the Erie Bell game. It's Erie Bell week, and we have Middletown senior running back and cornerback Angel Ortiz for the Middies, and we have Port Jervis senior tackle, defensive tackle, kicker, punter. He's all over the field for Port Jervis, Nick Cirulli. Guys, thanks for joining us tonight.
Of course.
Thanks for having us.
No problem. We'll start with Angel and just this rivalry. It dates back to 1897. Angel, that's a long time. And I was looking at some of the early games in this rivalry, and you had like scoreless ties in this game. You know, you had 0-0 games going way back. What do your coaches tell you about what this means, this rivalry means to your team, to your town, and maybe even to yourself?
This rivalry here is like one of the biggest ever. Last year we won the championship, but that was for us. People come and ask us about the Bell game, so that's how I know it's important to the town and to everybody that lives in this community.
Gotcha, Nick. We might as well talk about this right off the bat here. Your family has a history in playing in this game. Maybe you can tell us a little bit about your family's history of the game, what your dad might have told you, what your relatives that played in this game might have told you, and what it means to you to play in a game like this, especially and win the Bell last year too.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's just such a huge tradition. I mean, my father, grandfather, they've all played in it. It's a huge deal in this town, and it's an honor to be a part of the game.
Yeah, I was thinking about this before we went on, and just about, you have the history of the game, and then you have what it means to the teams. But I was thinking about, Angel, playing in front of how many fans you play in front of this game. There's nothing like it in Section 9. And, I've heard 5,000 people at this game. I mean, it's the most attended game. That means a lot of eyes are on this game, right? Can you explain maybe what that atmosphere is like? Because, unless you're getting to like the Section 9 championship game, you guys double crowds from a Section 9 championship game at this game.
Yes, it's very big. I've heard from my teammates. I never because last year the COVID season, so I never personally got to experience it. But my teammates, they told me that it's like a big thing. It's a big thing you can't hear out to the left. So it's very like a big thing.
Nick, can you describe? I mean, at Port Jervis, you guys get pretty good crowds at your games, right? It seems like mostly a good amount of the town's out on a Friday night watching Port Jervis football. How would you played in a couple of these Erie Bell games? How would you describe the crowd and the atmosphere, and just playing in front of that many fans in a high school football game is something that you see maybe down, Texas. You hear about it in Texas in the southern states, but this is a well-attended game. A lot of people are watching.
Yeah, I mean, the crowd's just explosive. It's so much different of an atmosphere when you have the whole crowd. I mean, last year, the Bell game, we couldn't really have anybody, so it's not the same feeling to have like the whole town and family behind your back watching you play this huge game.
Yeah, Nick, what do you think? You're right. Last year you didn't play in front of fans, right? So what do you think does that make it a totally different it makes it a totally different atmosphere, but how do you think that's going to be your senior year, the game's at Port, and now you have your fans, family, friends, people that have played in this game probably 30, 40, 50 years ago are going to be at this game.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I think it's just going to boost the energy, the morale, and it's just going to give us a sort of extra boost of confidence, knowing that we have everybody backing us and this huge crowd, such a big meaning and tradition in this town.
No doubt. Angel, you got to give us a little 411 on the middies this season so far. First off, talk about your offense. I know that you guys have, you guys like to mix it up a little bit with the run and the pass. Jaden Farrell's had a good season throwing the ball so far. You're running the ball. You have Jermaine McCray out there catching passes. I think you have a couple other receivers. Give us a little 4-1-1 on the offense this year for the Middletown.
The thing about our offense is like it's not just one of us teams have to worry about. It's multiple of us. So it's like all 11 guys on that field, we all have our own attributes. We all are very good at a specific thing, and it's hard to stop everything. It's a whole lot of talent.
Gotcha. Did I miss any wide receivers that you guys have in the mix? I know Jermaine's one of your main targets. Who else you got out there?
John McIver, the deadly weapon, and Jagger Blood. And I'm at slot too myself.
There you go.
Yeah.
Talk about Jaden Farrell so far this year and what he's done. I know that he got some action earlier in his career, and I know you had a pretty good quarterback the last couple of years that he's had to kind of wait his turn for, so to speak. But it seems like he's off to a good start.
Yeah, Jaden Farrell. Oh man, that boy, he's something special. He's something special from starting at wide receiver to coming to quarterback and starting and known all the plays. He's a really good threat on the field. He's multi-threat. He can do everything.
Nick, I'm guessing that a lot of the guys that you're playing with, you've been on the field since you were, I think, a sophomore as a starter, maybe even earlier than that. I'm guessing a lot of these guys that you're playing with now that are seniors, you've been playing with them for a while, right? I'm guessing you come up through the ranks of youth football at Port Jervis, so you probably know these guys pretty well. Talk to us a little bit about your offense. I know Brett Fuller at quarterback, and also Geffen Carthen is your running back, and Calvin Cruz. You got some guys there. Talk to us a little bit about your offense.
Mm-hmm. I mean, of course, we got all-star Brett Fuller at quarterback. He's making reads, throwing the ball around. We got Calvin Cruz, Jacob Balmas, Tyler Howard catching it. They're explosive. They can make big plays happen. Geffen Carthen and Nate Chambers at running back. They hit the holes hard, and they're just going to try to break out some big runs, make some big plays in this game.
Yeah, I remember seeing Brett play as a sophomore when you guys had that nice run into the state semifinals. And, man, just then he had the maturity to come into games and make some big plays with his arm. And he can run, too. I mean, you don't want to be in front of Brett Fuller when he gets ahead of steam, man. That's a guy who's a really strong runner, too. Angel, now you're also going to play some defense. So tell me a little bit, first off, what you might be seeing, not giving away any of your secrets. Don't give away any of your secrets, but tell us what you're seeing in Port Jervis's offense, and then we'll talk a little bit about the personnel you guys have on
defense. For defense, we're expecting Brett Fuller's arm. We know he can get it downfield, so we're looking into just stopping them big plays, just getting back our offense on the field.
Yeah, I know that obviously you're on defense. Jermaine McCray is a guy who plays both ways too. Give us a little bit, give us some information. Give us some players on defense that maybe we should watch in this game, other than you two, that could make an impact on Friday night.
Everybody on the defense, they all are somebody to watch because we all are just dogs out there. So it's like the corner, the defensive. The linemen, the running, like everybody just on the defensive side is just like we all just, we all click together. So it's even harder to stop us. And with like good talking out there, good like letting people know what's going on the field. Everybody's good together.
Gotcha. Nick, now you're going to be defending the Middletown's offense, which seems to be able to put up some points in games. What do you see? What are they bringing to the table? And then maybe you can give us a little bit of insight of what you guys have on defense. Who are your impact players on day?
I mean, I think the game's going to be won on the offense and defensive line. I mean, we're both semi-run-heavy teams. Got to watch their motions, and we got Nate Chambers out there on the D end, stopping anything coming outside. We got a cornerback, Geffen Carthen, probably the best open field tackler in Section 9. We got Calvin Cruz, who's a stud out there at safety. I think he had 2 interceptions last game. And our linebacker core is great. I think we have a good chance on Friday.
Guys, there's people like me that always like to see high-scoring games, right? Entertaining games that, where you get some touchdowns and you just get momentum going back and forth. But hearing you guys on defense, talking about your defenses, it seems like What kind of game are you thinking this is going to be, Angel? Do you think it's going to be more of a back and forth game, or do you think it's going to be more of a, I know that you guys have been in some tight games too this year that have come down to a play or two. How you see this game unfolding?
I'm not really sure how I feel about going unfold. I know it's going to be a good game, though. I know it's going to be a good game, but I just don't know how the game. I'm not sure if it's or it's not. I'm not sure.
Nick, would you say you guys like to play more of a ground and pound defensive game, or would you say you like to get the score? What's your style of football? What's Port Jervis's style of football this year? Would you say?
I mean, obviously, we're always trying to score points out there, but I think just Port Jervis's defense in the past couple of years has been what's winning us the game, really. Defense wins championships.
Gotcha. Maybe you guys maybe we can get into a little bit about what it means for you to play for your teams and what it means to your town, and especially in a week like this, right, where there's bragging rights, and there's bragging rights not only for this is for a year basically, because you get to take whoever wins this game gets to keep the Erie Bell for a year until you play again. Angel, talk to me a little about what it means to you to play to be a Middletown Midi, and maybe what it means to play for your town or your city, so to speak.
Growing up, I always been to the Bell games, and I know how it is to everybody else in Middletown. So I know how it is to win one. I haven't personally felt to win one yet, but I know it's a big thing for the town. I know after wins, it's a big party, like a nice little stuff like that. So I know it's like a big thing for us, and to play for Middletown is great. The coaching staffs are great. The players are great. It's just been it's been a lot of fun playing for Middletown.
Gotcha, Nick. This is, for you, to have your members of your family also be a part of the program. What does it mean for you to be like a Port Jervis football player? And what do you think it means? It means a lot to Port Jervis, no doubt.
Yeah, I think we're really just trying to make them proud out there, like to see what the program has developed into, and to just like the town is. We're a small town, but we're a football town. Everyone's at these games. It's a huge deal to everyone in our community, and we're really just trying to prove everybody right and make them proud.
No doubt. Let's get into the coaches real quick, and maybe Angel, you could tell us a little bit about it. Maybe if you could describe Coach Strenfeld in a few words for us, what it's like playing for him, and what he kind of has brought to your team.
Coach Strenfeld, oh man, where do I start? He's a great coach. If he has an opportunity in you, he will let you have that opportunity and go out there and do with you. He has trust in all his players. Before I have Middletown, before it was a little off. But once he stepped in, everything A1, everything good, everything goes good, and he's a great coach.
Gotcha, Nick. Talk to us a little bit about what it's like to play for Coach Straharski. I believe this is his third season as coach. He's been your head coach probably throughout your career, and he's really just turned around the culture of the program. And you guys have done really nothing but win since he's taken over the program.
Yeah, like you said, he completely turned around the program. He's got every single one of the players to buy in and to give it their all. He's intense, he's smart, and he gets everyone to be a team and to just produce.
Yeah, I remember talking to Brett Fuller earlier in the season. The morning practices, right? There are times where you were going in the morning, like 5:30 before school. That's not something I've heard a lot going on in Section 9 in the past, but you had a lot of success with it your sophomore year. And this Erie Bell week, is that something that you guys practicing in the morning still, or are you back to like kind of an afternoon schedule?
No, we've just practiced in the afternoon, but I really do like the morning practices. I feel like a lot of people wouldn't expect the intensity to be there, but we all bring it in the morning before school, and it's just a great feeling to get out there.
No doubt, no doubt. I guess Angel, maybe you could talk to us a little bit about yourself and kind of your journey as a football player, and maybe what you see in the future for you, whether it be after high school is over, whether it be with football or just college itself. What do you talk to us a little bit about your journey, so to speak?
My journey, I've been all over the field. I've been punter, field goal kick, mostly everywhere, running back, quarterback, wide receiver. I just been around everywhere. So I know mostly every single position I have to. If anything goes down, I know what position to go to. It's just like I know everything. I know like receiver routes. I know the running backs. I know every single spot just in case if anything goes down bad, then I all over the.
Gotcha. I was thinking about both of these programs, and you guys both mentioned this, and we've talked about this during this podcast. These are teams that, under their coaches, have seen the programs turn around, right? Have seen winning on a consistent basis, and that has got to be very contagious. You know, when you start winning games, I guess you get the hunger even increases to even do better and do more, right? I mean, Angel, I know you guys have had a successful the spring season was very successful for you guys. Nick, the spring season was successful for you guys. And now you're like maybe 6 months from that, and you guys continuing having strong 2021 seasons. Nick, what do you think? Has that kind of just been a consistent thing for you guys, or is it something that is built up, or how you describe it, kind of the turnaround and then just keeping at that high level, you know, throughout?
I mean, yeah, we didn't really have much of an off season, but we kept practicing all the way through, training, getting our bodies right, and just mentally and physically preparing for this season to come.
Yeah, and Angel, I guess, when does the thought of the Erie Bell game come to your mind? Was it, you know, as soon as the school ended in June? Were you thinking about it in the spring after the spring season? When was your first thoughts of playing in this Erie Bell game, or just the Erie Bell game in general? What do you think?
Last year when we lost, that's the first thing that came to my mind when I woke up in the morning. That's been on my mind for about since that season ended. That's the only thing that's been really bothering me.
Nick, is it something that is always on your mind, the Erie Bell game? I know you have pretty important games. You had some big games earlier in the season too. When do you start getting in the mindset of the Erie Bell game?
I mean, I've been thinking about this game here since probably my sophomore year, and just like what an honor it is to have my senior season be playing the Bell game at home. And it just really makes me want to put it all out there and try to win this thing.
Yeah, it's awesome that you guys have a chance to the season has gone uninterrupted. You've been out on the field every Friday, or if you guys have played a Saturday game, and now you guys get to play this game in front of fans. And we talked about it earlier in the podcast. So I can't imagine, like, a couple hours before kickoff, what it's going to be like with your teams in your locker room before the game. Will there be any big locker room speeches? Does there even have to be any big locker room speeches for a game like this? Angel, do you think there has to be like a big locker room speech and a rah-rah for this game?
We will have a big speech, but we all know that we coming in this game for one thing and one thing only, and that's it.
Yeah, Middletown had won 5 straight, I believe, in the Erie Bell series. Nick, you guys got the bell back in the spring. I don't think you want to send that bell back to Middletown. I'm guessing there'll be some words in the locker room, but the focus is pretty simple in a game like this, right?
Mm-hmm. I mean, we all really know what we got to do. We got to come out there and perform, give it our best, high intensity. I mean, the emotions are going to be there. The atmosphere is going to be crazy. The adrenaline's going to be rushing. It's just going to be a huge game overall.
No doubt. It's a game that we're definitely looking forward to. The 143rd meeting between Port Jervis and Middletown. Incredible. guys, we really appreciate your time. You are a part of you're going to be a part, you already are a part of the history of this great rivalry. We wish you guys all the best on Friday. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you for having us.